Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Hope everyone's having a great weekend, a great day. Today I'm gonna explain how you can improve your DPS damage. I posted a video about how defensive stab works, so I'm gonna show you how the offensive stab shows in this occasion. Okay, let's go, let's start. First off, you gain stats in two ways, by rating and by total, which is the percentage. Rating points or rating stats, it's the one you get from most of your gear, like this one: critical strike, fort, combat advantage, critical strike, and so on. You can also get it from companion bonuses, from mount bonuses. Like for example, there are a few companion mount bonuses that increases your offensive stats, like the Mender's Covenant and the Executioner's Covenant. You reduce defensive stats to increase your offensive stats, as well as the Covenant, which only gives outgoing healing and power, which it is better to use for healing. But you can, choose between those two if you need some power, you need some critical strikes, you need some critical severity to cap your stats, or you can use this one to increase your accuracy, combat advantage, critical strike, and critical severity. So basically, the more item level you have, the more damage you will be doing, which is this is your damage total. For every let's say, whenever you increase your hit points, whenever you increase your item level, you will, for every 1000, whenever you increase it, your percentage is gonna be reduced by 1%. But don't worry, this means that the higher your item level, the more rating cap you can put on. And your rating is based on your item level. So as you can see, my critical strike, it's closely to my item level because that's my cap. But recently, with the addition of Celestial Companions, since we have 120% on the bolster, they also added that you can increase your power, combat advantage, and critical severity ratings by 10,000 more. As you can see, my power is 10,000 more than my item level, as well as my combat advantage and my critical severity. As you can see, I have like 13k here, but whenever you cap your stats, you still have a little bit, like 1k difference. If you put 1k, let's say 1001, then your stats will go red, meaning you are overcapped. So basically, if you are able to cap them like I am, which I'm using a Agon companion because I'm having very difficulty to cap them with using a support companion, my ratings drop drastically and I have to rebalance everything. But this is a video only explaining how to make your DPS better, to make a better performance. So the opposite of the defensive stats, as I explained on my video, of these 5, your offensive stats are power, accuracy, combat advantage, critical strike, and critical severity. Which ones go priority? Power, combat advantage, which is the same. Whenever you have combat advantage, I will show you when you will have combat advantage. It increases your power. As you can see, increases your damage when attacking an enemy from an advantageous position. This means, for example, if the tank has the boss facing him and you are behind it, you are already creating, you're flanking the boss, so you're creating an advantage. This activates your combat advantage. Critical strike, whenever you critical strike, the higher your critical strike, the more damage you will do. But for every critical strike you do, your critical severity triggers. This means if you have, let's say, 90% critical chance, all your attacks will be doing a critical strike. Let's say from 10 attacks, 9 will be critical, and 9 critical will be critical severity. This one increases your critical strike. Since these three have more item level, all of these three have 120 percentage, so they increase more, you can do more damage. Accuracy, most people think that it's like a dump where you can dump ratings, but accuracy is also important because accuracy means decreases your enemy's reduction to the damage of your deflected attacks. If you're a tank, you will be deflecting any attacks incoming from the boss, so the boss will also be able to deflect your attacks. The higher your accuracy, or the more strikes you will do. Let's say that. So the higher it is, it's better. So try to do it to have it more than 50%. Now, whenever you increase your ratings, you will be slightly increasing your percentage. But how can you increase your percentage if your power or your ratings are already capped? The other way, which is easy to increase the percentage, it's for example having gear that also increases your stats. For example, this one, the helmet. Whenever you deal damage or heal your target for more than 10% of your maximum hit points, you will gain 1% critical strike. This one stacks for 10. The bonus from the chest, whenever you deal damage, you will increase your critical severity by 3% and it stacks 18 times. I'm using this one. Well, I have different builds, but this is an example. This one dropped from the Master Demon Whippets from the first boss and increases your power 1% and stacks 10. The weapon set from Master Demon Whippets, whenever you are in combat, it increases your critical strike and critical severity by 1% for every 5 seconds. So after 50 seconds, you will have 5%. Sorry, it's after 25 seconds. Sorry, you will have 5% increase of these stats. There is another one I'm using. Let's say whenever you are 25% or closer to your target, your power will be increased by 6%. As a melee fighter, you will always be close to your target, so this one also helps you increase your power. Rings, I have this one increases power on other maps, but playing on Drexantum on or Paris Skyhold, my power is increased by 5%. This one as well. This one reduces your cooldowns, and this one gives you action points whenever you critical strike. But there is another option here whenever you want. This one drops from, I think was from the Lair of the Mad Dragon Master version. Whenever your stamina is over 75%, your critical strike is 5%. So try to look for gear. Always check your collections, because there are pretty decent gear you can get early on before you can start doing master content. For example, from the latest campaign, which is Skyhold, you can check the current gear here. The helmet, this one increases your critical strike. This one you gain a 3% combat advantage, but the bonus is not good because whenever you use a daily power, the next encounter it's a 20%. How many times you will be doing a daily? Between 30 seconds. This one increases your accuracy. This one increases your maximum hit points, divinity, and so on. So your item level, it's always important because it will help you do endgame content, but always try to look for gear that in some way increases your ratings, your stats, sorry. Either way, it's rating or percentage. Whenever you have it rating, try to look for something else that increases your power, because it helps. I mean your percentage. Let's say I lost 3% now because I don't have my belt on, and now I did it, and it increases 90%. Also, foods, elixirs, potions can also help you increase your stats. Another way to increase these stats, it's with Boons. Always go for the power ones, then go for the offensive ones: accuracy, critical strike, combat advantage, critical severity. Then use the ones that also help you whenever you kill. You have a 50% on killing to increase more your offensive stats, bloodlust, and so on. Try to read them to know which ones are better. I will show you my main single target build as a barbarian, but this video it's just to help you know better how to increase your power to make a better performance. There are a few players that have been asking me to make other class builds, but honestly I hardly have time, and the only one I play it's my barbarian, which has helped me understand how the offensive stats works. And this is how I understand them, and I hope it helps you understand them too. The other way you can increase your percentage, it's basically mainly with companion bonuses. Face Fighter increases critical strike, combat advantage. Golden Cat increases combat advantage. Bump Imps present, accuracy combat. Neverwinter increases your outgoing damage. Critical strike from the alchemist discipline. So you always have to, whenever you feel comfortable knowing that your percentages are higher, you can balance them with other companions to help you increase your damage. Because whenever all these mainly ones, power, combat advantage, critical strike power equals to combat advantage, critical strike triggers critical severity, and the higher accuracy, the more hits you will land on your boss, on your target. So you can basically always look for companions that helps you increase the last part. As you can see, companions are celestial. We have 120 bolsters now, and I don't know, maybe next mod we'll have mounts, which is a rumor. We will see. The other thing, as I told you before, well, this is my AoE my AoE build, which I mainly use for solo content. I have all these bonuses, but for my single target build I will show you, it's completely different. So this is my single target. Whoops, I'm not campfire. So the single target, it's this one. Basically, my combat advantage and my critical severity are capped. As you can see, it's 103, but with potions and elixirs it will go higher. If you are in a group with the healer and the tank using runic aura or the mystic aura, your power will increase as well, and my critical strike caps when I use a potion. With my single target build, I have Golden Cat, I have Black Dragon, I have the Raptor Instinct, which increases your power, having more of your group members using it. I have Batiri's Wisdom, which increases damage by 40% versus bosses, which is mainly the main thing against them, and critical severity. With my main single target, my mount bonuses changes. I still using the Enchanter Hex, Artificial Enticement, reduces cooldowns or your encounters when you use an artifact. Activating a mount power also reduces your cooldowns by 4%. Tactician's Precision, also whenever you use a daily power, reduces your cooldown. And I have 2 of the new Calorie Haste, because it reduces by 2 seconds, so it reduces 6 in total seconds. Another thing I forgot to mention is that depending on your class, you also have to focus on your attributions points. As a melee fighter, let's say a guardian, let's say the fighter, the rogue, or the barbarian, I don't know if the bard also goes as melee, but increasing your strength attribution also helps you increase your damage boost. Calm increases your maximum hit points, your action point gain. Dexterity also increases your critical severity. Intellect, it's very important for casters like the cleric, wizard, and the warlock, because it also increases magical damage boost. Wisdom, it's for healers, helps you with the outgoing healer, and charisma increases your fort and your recharge speed. Whenever someone says recharge speed, it means that the cooldown on your encounters timers is reduced. Let's say, for example, this one it's 9.1, and if I remove my celestial recharge bonus, my cooldown it goes by 9.5. So depending on your class, it's good to know which it suits you. The other thing I'm using, it's the Shroomwood amulet. I'm using the +1 version. Mostly of the DPS are using this because it helps when you have this set. Whenever you use an encounter power, you gain a stack of speed alacrity, granting 2.5% accuracy and 5% recharge speed for 5 seconds, and stacks 3 times, making this 7.5% of accuracy and 50% recharge speed. So it helps. There are good sets that helps you depending on the bonus you can use, but mainly of the DPS are using the caster version of the Shroomwood. I don't remember, Salilian I think it's called, but the melee ones are using this. So I will use right now the potions and elixirs I'm using Flask of Potency. I'm using Squash Soup because it increases critical strike and critical severity. This one gives you a small points of ratings, increases critical severity by 5. I'm using the Sunlord, which increases accuracy and 5% of combat advantage. And Food Ratatouille, which is from the Stormhold food, which increases accuracy. So this is how I'm looking at this moment. Accuracy is a bit low because I'm using these arms. Gain 400 accuracy for 10 seconds when you strike an enemy, and when I get hit I lose a stack, but this one stacks 20 times, so it's making it 8000 accuracy, which increases this 103,000. So I'm not over capping that one. My power having for group MS using Raptor increases by 115. I'm remembering. Barbarians, whenever they are on Berserk mode, they also increase their critical severity by 10%, making this stat 120. Oh yeah, before I forget, since I mentioned you how to know when you're having combat advantage, let's go with this boss. I will switch. Whoops, I forgot to switch because I'm using an argument companion, but it's hard using an argument companion without having combat advantage. So let's go with my Minotaur. So how to know when you have combat? You know, every enemy have this circle. Whenever you see this white part of the circle, that means if you go this part, it will turn blue or purple. I don't know. But once you have it, that means you have combat advantage, meaning that your combat advantage it's gonna be triggered, and you will be increasing your damage hit points, your hits. So whenever this that's why it's important, to know your position when you're facing a boss. But to avoid where to position, it's better to have Scorpion, because Scorpion, but I don't know why Scorpion is having an issue here. It's not properly working. But Scorpion, what it does, it keeps let's say that the ring of the boss goes fully blue the entire encounter, meaning it has combat advantage all the time. So that's good for any DPS. If you want to use Scorpion, support like tank or healer can use it as well, to give combat advantage all the time, so you can do maximum performance. That's how I understand how the offensive stat works, and I hopefully it helps you understand them too, to get a better performance, and you can do endgame content, you can do most of the damage. Remember, always try to look for gear. There are some gear that it's universal. For example, gear that drops from Master, Demon Whippets, any class can use them, and it's the only dungeon that drops them. Then you have to check either each campaign which gear they have, buy them, get them, use them, but remember, always try to get bonuses that increases your stats: power, accuracy, combat advantage, critical strike, and critical severity. Whenever you feel comfortable having everything capped, you can rebalance to increase other stats to make them, better, and you can do more damage. I'm also using the, let's say, if you are having trouble using, capping, you can use the Lolth weapons, but since my critical strike and my critical severity are capped, the one I'm using, it's Solium Falcum, which is the weapon set from the master version of the Defense of the Moon Dancer, which deals her heal up by 5% additional damage based on difference in hit points between the player and the target. As a DPS, it gives you a 3% base damage, which you're doing more damage. I'm using the one that gives you stamina in it's over 75%. I have 5% critical strike. The one that reduces cooldowns, I have the same rings, and I have big BDDs and ferocity, which also helps you do slightly more damage, granting 1.6% additional damage for stacks 3 times. And whenever you need more stats, you can switch this one. Hopefully I cover up everything. I hope I didn't miss anything. If either way you have any questions, if I missed something, please feel free to comment. If you like the video, like it. And hopefully, as always, this video is for everyone's utility, and I hope it's useful. Always enjoy your game. Have a great time. Later.